Hey guys, it's Kozak, author of Adult Urban Fantasy, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. First of all, can I just say Happy New Year? Does anyone else feel like 2018 went by really quickly? I don't know about you guys, but I actually feel like 2018 was an amazing year for me. So I thought, what better way to start out the new year than by kind of wrapping up the last year and then talking about my goals for 2019. Because this is a writing channel, I'm going to start out with writing, reading, and YouTube related goals. And then if you're not interested in hearing about my more personal, family, and like physical fitness type goals, then you can click off at that point just for your convenience. So without further ado, I'm just going to jump right into how 2018 went for me. To be completely honest, I was not super deliberate about setting concrete goals at the beginning of last year. However, I do feel like I accomplished a lot during the past year. The first thing that comes to mind, of course, if you've been watching my channel, is I completed National Novel Writing Month for the very first time in my entire writing existence. So that was very exciting and just made me feel more confident as a writer and in my abilities. Aside from that, other writing goals I accomplished this year was that I wrote 2 short stories, which was a lot of fun and really stretched me because I explored genres and topics I really hadn't dabbled in before. I wish I could say that I finished the first draft of my project this year, but unfortunately I'm still a little bit short. I'm hoping to finish it in January, but I am very close, if that counts for anything. In more vague terms, I do feel like I grew a lot as a writer. I'm more consistent with writing daily, or at least most days during a month. I can get pretty good word counts now, and I feel like I'm getting a taste of my style and flow again, and I just am feeling myself as a writer. So it's been a positive year overall. As far as reading goes, I also didn't have any concrete goals, and I don't remember how many books I read, but I did do better than I have been the last couple years. I feel like I've been overwhelmed and kind of out of sorts before this year, and so getting back into reading has been fun, rediscovering genres I love, discovering new genres for the first time, and just really enjoying myself and enjoying some new stories. And then of course I started my AuthorTube channel this past year, which has been super fun and very rewarding. I've met a lot of amazing people on here and I've made some good friends, and I'm just loving the experience. So I definitely am going to be continuing my channel into the new year. Last but not least, this isn't writing or reading related, but I did run a half marathon during this last summer. So that was pretty cool. That was the first time I've ever done that. So I feel like I'm not a total couch potato, I guess. Anyways, those are the most major things I accomplished this year. Of course, I've got other small things and I've got more personal things that, I don't know, are kind of hard to put into words and I don't really feel like putting into this video. So that's where I will leave 2018. Which leads us into 2019, this new amazing year full of possibilities and opportunities that we have right in front of us. First of all, can we just take a second to appreciate and admire my planner for 2019. Like, look how thick this thing is. I feel like I'm prepared for the organizational apocalypse. Like, holy crap. I'm gonna go more in depth into my planner in my first quarter goals video, which will be coming later this week. But I just wanted to give you a sneak peek because I'm so excited to actually use a planner this year. Did I mention I didn't use a planner last year at all? I'm kind of disorganized and I'm trying to change that, as you can tell. I've got my handy dandy notebook as usual. I have my goals divided into categories. Like I said before, I'm gonna start out with writing, reading, and YouTube related goals. So after that point, if you don't wanna listen to the rest of my more personal goals, you don't have to keep watching and you can just click off and come back for the next video. I'm not here to waste your time if you don't want me to. I got you. Look at this mess. I'm such a shenaniganizer. This is why I need a planner. Obviously, I'm going to be transferring this chaos into a more beautiful form into my amazing planner. But for now, I thought this would work for helping me get through this video. So let's start off with writing, of course. I did mention I didn't finish the first draft of my current work in progress, The Network, this December, so I am trying to finish it in January. I am so close. I am currently in the middle of writing the false climax, and then there'll be a couple scenes in between that and the real climax, and then of course the ending, and then I think there's one other scene that I didn't write earlier that I'll need to do, but I'm almost done, and I am bound and determined to get that done this month. After completing the first draft, I do want to devote most of the year to the first round of edits and revisions for the network. That's going to consist of a lot of fleshing out the world building, making sure I have all the components that need to be in the first book so that the reader is introduced to my magical world but isn't given too much information or too little information. And additionally, I'm going to make sure all the character development is properly filled out, because there's a lot of things that need to happen in order for the ending to have the emotional effect I want it to have. So if I don't have enough character development, or I'm too wordy, or I overdo it, it could ruin the ending. So I need to make sure I have a good balance there. So that first round of revisions is going to be fleshing out the book and really making sure it's a good, solid, complete draft before I go into more fixing like pacing, structure, and that sort of more detail-oriented thing. So that is something I do want to complete in 2019. I'll get more detailed into the timeline, obviously, in my various quarter goals videos, but that's the overarching goal. So besides the network, I want to write 6 short stories this year and potentially submit them to various publications in order to get them published, possibly. We'll see about that. I'm kind of nervous about that, but at the very least, I do want to write 6 short stories. I do want to participate in NaNoWriMo again this year, so I will do all my editing and revisions of the network through September, and then in October, I'll switch to prepping for NaNoWriMo, and then of course do NaNoWriMo in November. And then probably December will be a little bit of writing and then relaxing after the shenanigan that is NaNoWriMo. The last goal I have isn't super concrete, but I'll try to explain it the best way I can. Even though I'm going to be doing a lot of revisions and editing this year, I want to write at least 5,000 words a month. So whether that's additions to the network or short stories or just other random projects, I want to make sure I am writing consistently. So that's all I have for writing. Of course, I can add goals throughout the year, but that's what I have for now. Let's move right into my reading goals. The first one being that I want to create a more concrete goal for myself, which is to read at least 50 books this year. Now that can be novels, that can be nonfiction or whatever, but it has to be 50 books. In addition to that, I want at least 10 of the 50 books to be indie books, because I want to support indie authors and all that they do. I think they deserve just as much exposure as traditionally published authors. So I typically get a lot of my books from the library or from thrift shops. So this year I really want to try to give financial support to writers more. So my goal is to purchase at least 6 books this year. And actually I'm already doing well on that goal. I pre-ordered FairyTale by Rebeccah Rodriguez. I'll link that down below, and I'm super excited to be getting that later this month. This last goal is kind of lame, but I actually own a lot of novels that I haven't read, so I want at least 10 of the 50 books I read this year to be books that I own and haven't read yet, so that I don't just have these weird, mysterious, unread books sitting around my house, neglected and unloved. The last reading goal I have, which kind of goes into the next topic, which is YouTube, is I want to start doing book reviews on my channel. I don't know if I want to do a ton of booktube content like TBR lists, book hauls, those sort of things. I more just want to focus on doing book reviews. So going right into the YouTube goals, I want to do at least 1 book review a month on my channel, and then I want to do 1 writing vlog a month. In general, I'm going to try to do 2 videos a week on Mondays and Thursdays, but there are going to be a couple super busy times in the year that might not work super well. So at the very least, there's always going to be at least 1 video a week. Cross your fingers. But when things are normal and not stressful, I am going to do 2 videos a week. As far as interacting and engaging with the community, I'm going to try to be better about watching the majority of my subscriptions videos and commenting on them. It's been kind of difficult because I think I kind of oversubscribed in the past year, so I got kind of overwhelmed, but I'm going to try to refocus and make like a good, healthy routine for myself so that I can get to most everybody's content. And then once I have things under control, I'll try to introduce new channels and creators into the mix so that I can keep spreading the love and supporting you awesome creators. Another kind of general wishy-washy kind of goal is I would love to do collabs with people this year. I watched other people do them and they seem super fun and you just seem to learn a lot from the other person. So that is something I hope I will do this year, and I'm going to try to reach out to people and get something like that initiated. Basically, I'm just trying to have a good time this year and strengthen the friendships I made last year and make new friendships and just live my best YouTube life. All right, that wraps up all the 3 main categories that you're probably interested in. I'm going to delve into more personal goals. So if you're not interested, bye. Thanks for watching. You're amazing. And if you are interested, well, welcome to the rest of the video. I couldn't find an order that really made sense, so I'll just start with family and relationship goals first. As far as my daughter goes, once it warms up, I want to try to do daily walks with her so that she can get outside, get some fresh air, and then the dog can get some exercise as well. In addition to that, I want to start reading bedtime stories to her every night so that she develops a love of stories and of reading and has a healthy relationship with that from the very beginning. And then for my husband, we have a goal together to have at least 1 date night a month. He wants to make it 2. So soft goal 2, hard goal 1. I'm just realistic. We're very busy and I feel like 2 date nights a month isn't always achievable for us, but we're sure gonna try. And then another vague goal I want to do with my husband is find a new hobby to enjoy together. So if you guys have a fun hobby that you have with your spouse or significant other, let me know and maybe my husband and I will try it out. So the next category is spiritual goals. I am a religious person. If that for some reason offends you, sorry, that's who I am. This year in my church, we're focusing on the New Testament, and there's this new manual they made that has readings that go along with it. So my goal for the year is to do all of the assigned readings so that I can follow along and really gain a lot from the curriculum this year. In addition to that, in our church, we have this thing called Family Home Evening, where once a week on traditionally Monday night, you have like a little lesson together as a family. And we haven't been very good about that, especially because our daughter's so young that, I mean, what can you really do with a toddler? But this year, I'm going to try to make an effort to improve that aspect of our lives. Then, of course, like everyone else, I have fitness goals for 2019. So don't you dare tell me if you've noticed, but I am a little overweight right now. I'd like to lose 15 pounds. So that's my first fitness goal for the year. My second goal is to run another half marathon this summer. And related to that, I would love to get my 1 mile time for shorter distances, not longer distances, to be under 7 minutes and 30 seconds. Another fitness goal is I would love to be able to do 30 push-ups by the end of the year. And when I say that, I don't mean, do 5 and then take a break and then do another 5 or whatever. It's 30 continuous push-ups. I've gotten 29 and I've never broken 30. So I really want to do that this year. And the last one is rock climbing related. If you know anything about climbing, you know that each wall has like a rating and there's different difficulties and the number gets higher when the difficulty grows. And last year when I was doing pretty well with rock climbing, I got up to doing like a 5'9" pretty easily, but I never was able to do a 5'10". So this year I would love to be able to start doing 5'10" walls at the rock climbing gym. We're almost done, I promise. Next category is friends. I want to be better at staying in contact with my friends that don't live near me. I know that's a vague goal. I'll get more in depth on my own and like plan out how to do that, but that's the gist of it. And then the second goal for friends is I want to start doing play dates with my friends who have children around my daughter's age. I think that would be fun for both me and my friends, and then of course our children. Okay, this is the last category, which is home improvement. So this year I want to be realistic with our home improvement goals because it can be kind of expensive. So I want to have one major one for each quarter. So tentatively, the 4 big projects I have planned for the year is 1, to get a water softener. We have very hard water here and it's damaging to the appliances, the water fixtures, all that kind of stuff. So that's, priority number 1. Number 2, we have the yard mostly fenced in except on the side. So we want to finish the fence this year. Number 3, in the garage, I would love to hang up some shelves to put all our shoes on so we can have that organized and out of the way. And number 4, in the laundry room, it's kind of disorganized, so I would love to hang up like a little cabinet and a curtain rod with hangers so that I can kind of organize it better and it'll be a cleaner, more orderly place. Just kidding, there's one more category. How did I skip financial? So don't judge us if you live your life better than us, but we do have loans on both of our cars and I'm kind of sick of it. So this year, my goal is to pay between $3,000 and $6,000 extra towards the sedan. So the reason there's those 2 numbers is $3,000 is if we pay an extra $250 a month, and then $6,000 is if we pay an extra $500 a month. And just the reality of my part-time job, and then, life, expenses come up that you didn't expect, etc., etc. Some months it's probably going to be possible to do $250, other months it's going to be possible to do $500, and it's hard to plan for that. So that's why I have kind of that range. Of course, I'd love to do the full $6,000, but I want to be realistic, of course. The next financial goal is to save an extra $3,000 into our savings account. We did really great this last year, so I'm feeling awesome about that, and I want to keep that going. And the last one, I'm sorry, it's another vague goal. I hate being vague, but I didn't want to make this video like super, super long and boring, but it's just to reduce spending. So that's something my husband and I are going to be going over together, identify areas where we spend more money than we should and kind of approach it from there. That wraps up all my goals. Obviously, this list can grow, it can shrink, but that's what I've come up with so far, and that's what I'm excited about for this coming new year that we have ahead of us. I've noticed a lot of you guys have already uploaded your own equivalent of this video, or you've done the first quarter goals video, so I'm super excited to watch all those and just see what you guys are planning to do this year. I think 2019 is going to be amazing, and I hope you guys feel the same way. I hope you're feeling optimistic and positive about the future. If you enjoyed this video and you're excited about watching my progress as a writer and as a human being this year, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have you here. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I hope you guys had an amazing New Year celebration with your family, your friends, or just chilling with your cat, whatever you did. Well, I'll see you guys next time. As always, happy writing. Bye.